So that whale there, it is a humpback whale. In Newfoundland, we get 22 different species of whales. The three most common around here are minkies. Those are the smallest of the baleen whales, very fast and erratic. We also get fin whales, which are the second largest whale in the world. They're about 75 feet in length. And this one there, that one's a humpback. So the humpbacks are everybody's favorite. And the humpbacks, like you're seeing now, they can put on a show. They get happy, they start waving at you, they'll jump out of the water, they'll smack their tails off the water. They like the attention, just like me. They love it. They love to put on a show. Now the humpbacks, they can also get curious, they'll come over to the boats and stuff like that. That's typically why they're everybody's favorite whales. They get curious, they like people watching just as much as people like whale watching. So the humpbacks, what you're seeing now is nice to see. It's them being playful, but what you typically see is a balloon-like mist of spray followed by a black back and a black dorsal fin. I'm not sure what Al has on his mind. I don't know if we're going to go over and see that whale. See, by the time we get over there, the show might have stopped. But it looks like Al is going to go over. We're going to see that boat. That whale's waving at us to come on over. Come say hi. So we're going to try and make our way over there. Now if the whale stops, we might turn and go over to the next bay over. So that's a little bit about the whales. When we get closer to them, I'll talk a lot more about them. And Al's already ran over some safety. Now I'm going to tell you, it can be a very, very rough place out here. It is the North Atlantic. It's not like one of the Great Lakes, you know. It's not like that. It can be very rough. As we go along the coast, you'll see where the grass line meets the rocks. That's how high the waves can get. So it can be very rough. So I'm going to tell you, if I say hold on, I do mean hold on. I'm not like Shakespeare, there's no hidden meaning behind it. When I say hold on, ladies, hold on to the rails, not your husbands. You might find out he doesn't love you as much as you thought. So, and there's two whales out there. I'm not quite sure what Al's going to do, but we'll sit back, relax, enjoy the lovely tropical island of Newfoundland. If you have any questions, feel free to ask myself or the rest of the crew. What we don't know, we're just simply going to make it up. We don't let the truth get in the way of a good story around here. And there's a puffin in the water. See the little black bird between us and the oil rig? Just sitting in the water? That's a puffin. You guys all see the puffin? Perfect. All right, now we can turn around and go home. They've all seen the whale and the puffin. Well, it's a Gatheralls whale and puffin tour, not whales and puffins. So, but no, I'm just kidding. We'll keep on going. And don't worry about that little puffin there. We will see lots of them. I'm telling you now. To the competition, show them how much fun we're about to have. Woohoo! Show them how excited you are. Woo!
You'll never see him no more.
And there is a rare species up there on the cliff. The North Atlantic hiker. They're hiking the East Coast Trail. Now they're sitting down having a nice break. A nice view, maybe trying to watch some whales. They're pretty friendly up there. They don't look too aggressive. Starting to spot some whales. Yeah, there's two over there off the port side. But we're going to keep heading on over to the next bay. That's where all the whales are, I promise you. You'll see when we get in there why we're not going to stop those two.
That's where they were the last time. There's, I can see scattered whale in there now. It's floating pretty good, so just gotta watch.
see it though.
Oh, you need to be able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I could be shooting it straight up and I wouldn't be really sure. Right?
Oh, okay.
Oh, right there. Look.
Yeah, I know.
And that was a minke whale that just surfaced off of our bow. So that's the smallest of the baleen whales. You notice how the dorsal fin is sharp and pointed? And there's not a spray that comes from those. They're very fast and erratic, they're quick. And that's what made them so hard to hunt. That's why there's a lot of them in the world today. Point at the puffins. What was it? You're not seeing whales, are you? No way. Ah, right in front of us. Two of them come right across. Surprise! Ah. Oh, gauzy whales. There's one, the other two are heading right towards us, and they might come up on the other side of the boat. So you guys all ran over to this side, but they're probably going to pop up over on the other side. Oh, I said probably. That's why I said probably. There's another one, look. You can see two of them right here. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Those are humpbacks. So you can see the green or the turquoise in the water. That's the white of their pectoral flippers. So it's actually white. It just appears green through the sun reflection. So these are humpback whales. There's a lot of them around, yeah. So we have to move slowly. Like those two just demonstrated earlier. The whales, they
the ones
pop
that are
up.
right next to us.
So yeah, slowly move on in here. Gotta be careful. Now the whales, they don't mind the boats. They know we're not here to hunt them anymore. We're just here to make money off of them. But they'll come right on over sometimes. They get curious. Oh, you're getting a tail right there. When they get curious, they've even come over. They poke their heads up off the boat. Kind of poke us. See what we're going to do. See if we'll poke back. They've gotten close enough that we've been able to touch them. See, like we're doing now, we're just kind of here. We're drifting in. Not going too fast.
We're just alright. Well, that was a surprise.
That one was a surprise. Those two were a surprise.
You never know, they get kind of reckless when they're feeding too. I was watching most of them in here by shore. But you don't know. It's like a moose running, it's worse than the moose running out in front of you. There's no brakes on the boat. And yes, sometimes 3 or 4 moose can run out in front of you. That's a new phenomenon around here. When we were young, you didn't worry about the moose, you worried about the horses, because they all turned their horses loose for the summer. It was not uncommon to knock down 7 or 8 horses. And there was no worrying about whales in the boat, because it was very scarce back in the 60s and 70s. Very rare to see one. But these whales have done very well when they stopped whaling here. Oh, lunch feed. When they stopped whaling here in the 70s. About a decade later, about 15 years later, about 85, we started noticing a fair amount of whales. And they've become more numerous ever since. The humpbacks have done very well. They were down to about 1,000 when they stopped, ceased whaling, 72 or 73, whatever it was. But they now number around 18,000. About 12 years ago, they were taken off the endangered species list, and they now number, like I say, are 1 notch up as species of special concern. Now we're just going to go in here and hover, and maybe scatter a little kick back and forth, but all the action is up to the whales, folks.
Look at all of them on the surface there now. There's 4. And a tail. Oh, right next to us as well. That's a young one. That is big for a young. Yeah. The whales are pretty big when they're born. They weigh in at 1 ton when they're born.
1 ton.
1 ton. A full-size whale is about 50 feet. Every foot of the whale, it will weigh in at about 1 ton. So a big whale is 50 tons.
Tails.
Look at all the whales around you right now.
Wow.
Look at them all. Oh my goodness.
We're just going to hang out here, folks. Like I say, there's 9 or 10 whales here ahead of us. It's amazing.
And these all are humpbacks. So these humpbacks, they start their lives in the warm waters of the Caribbean. Doesn't that sound nice right now? Lying on a beach. I mean, this is good too. But see, they're too track-minded, breeding and feeding. Right here, they're just feeding. They don't breed here. The waters are too cold. If they had their calf here, it would freeze upon birth. So they go down south, that's where they mate. Then they'll go back down the next year and they give birth. So when they mate, well, you might have heard about the whales that say, oh, right off our side, or starboard side. 2.
That's what Jimmy said.
You guys are surrounded by whales. Oh my goodness. Look at that. So you might have heard of the whales that sing songs. And those are the humpbacks that sing, but their songs are only sung in the Caribbean. They don't sing up here. They're too busy feeding. That's not where they mate. If we stuck a microphone into the water here now, you wouldn't hear anything other than grumps and burps and farts. It's too busy feeding. But when they go down south, that's where they sing, and it's actually only the males that sing. So the males, they all sing the same song over and over again, kind of like the guys around here. The female, she'll pick her favorite singer, and she'll invite him over for a poke and go. Oh, you're all laughing, but that's the best way I can describe it. It's very quick, very brief. So then the female, she's left impregnated. So there's a gestation period of about 11 months. So not only is she a whale, she's a pregnant whale for 11 months. So when she'll go, during those 11 months, she'll come back up here. In the summer, she'll feed. Look at all the whales here.
Tail.
When they're down south to breed, there's no food down there for them to eat, so they actually live off of their body fat. They don't eat anything. They go on the whale Jenny Craig system. They live off their body fat all winter. And then they're just like the tourists. When you come here, you eat lots of food. You eat and you eat and you eat. So these whales, they put on 3 to 5 feet of blubber, of pure body fat every summer. They're all eating 1 ton of food a day. All of these whales here, all the whales around us, they've been here. This is the 12th day that these whales have all been here. There is about 100 just in the area. And they're all eating 1 ton of food a day. So any day now the food is going to run out. And who knows, it might be here for 2 more weeks. We don't know, but you guys are very lucky. This is typically very late in the season. And there's Bruce over there. That's our pet whale, Bruce. The one with all the white scratches on him, on his back. He's not on the surface there yet. I think it's him about to come to the surface there now. Over off to our starboard side, the right side of the boat. There's Bruce. See all the white scratches on his back? That's Bruce. Say hello to Bruce.
Drone.
See, we can start telling the whales apart. We've seen them year after year. We've been seeing the same whales come here for over 10 years. And there's Bruce on the surface. See all the white scratches he has on him. Gonna lift his tail. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, photo. So we can tell the whales apart by different markings on them. And actually, you might start to notice that all of the whales' tails are different. They all have a different pattern on them. Each one, it's kind of like our fingerprints or our DNA. They're all different. So you can start to tell the whales apart by their tails. So we have one, her name is Snowflake. Her tail is all white. She'll come back year after year. She's a big, big female whale. About as big as they get. We have Bruce, as you just saw, he has a lot of white scratches on his back. We also have Butch. He has big white stripes kind of going across his dorsal fin. We have Frank and Betty. They typically travel along together. And they get playful a lot of the times. They try to outdo each other. One will start waving, the other one starts waving, then the tail will go, and then the other tail will go. I've taught those ones well. I trained them.
I'm just going to spin around here. The whales are probably going to turn and come back here now, folks. The whales, they go in and out the bay here.
So they're all working here to feed. Now typically the humpbacks, they're solitary mammals, so they travel alone, they feed alone, but when feeding is really good like it is right now, it's no problem to see this many whales in one area, and they'll all work together. Mostly in groups of 5 or 6. But what they do when they feed is they circle around their food. They kind of drive it into a big circle, closing in on it, circling and circling, driving it into a big ball. Then they'll take turns, dropping their jaws, coming up to the surface with their mouths open, and lunging through the food. It's called lunge feeding. Sometimes they use bubble net feeding, which is when they still circle around the food, but they'll use bubbles to scare the food. So one whale, he specializes in blowing bubbles. That's a job for the whales, you know, blowing bubbles. And they use the bubbles to scare the food into a big circle. But there are whales everywhere. Is this anybody's first time whale watching? Yeah? Did you expect to see this many whales? No. Well, that's good. Now, the next time you go whale watching, don't expect it to be like this, unless you come out again with us. But there are a lot of whales here. Think about how much food must be here.
Coming in off my port bow. Here they come.
There's Bruce. See Bruce? That's Bruce about to lift his tail.
And the other one.
And the other one doesn't have a name. Ouch.
The one that did the thing this time.
Oh my goodness, we are completely surrounded right now. We really are surrounded.
Oh, I missed that one.
Now, none of you guys are catching on. I've just talked about how whales surround their food. Just talked about it. Oh, and there goes breakfast for that one on the surface to our port. See the brown spot in the water? Processed capelin smoothie. Al just calls it a whale turd, but I figured I'd be nice about it. Now, is there anybody scared about being eaten by a whale?
Me.
Right ahead of us now, folks. About 4 or 5 whales. And the puffin. Look at the puffin in the middle of it all, trying to steal the show.
Taking a bath. 2 puffins there. See, sometimes the puffins, well, I've seen it on a few trips, but they kind of hang out where the whales are. They like to have a bit of fun. They sit right on top of where the whale's about to surface, right over the blowhole. You're pushed up into the air. No, they're probably not expecting it's going to happen, but it's kind of funny. So we'll be quiet for a few minutes just so we can listen to all these whales around here.
Ooh.
But I think there's one behind us that was jumping.
Oh, right here off the bow, folks. They're going to be up in a minute. Just be patient. All you have to be is a fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They make the best whale watchers because they got the most patience.
Now every time the whales surface, they exhale 5,000 liters of air. Their lungs are very powerful. And the spray that you see doesn't come from inside the whale. If the whale had water in its lungs, it would be just like us having water in our lungs. It wouldn't be very good. So that spray is from a lip around the blowhole. The water that covers the blowhole, when the whale comes to the surface, gets pushed up into the air, and that's what's creating the spray.
I can only stand the birds clear. Thanks. lethal, I guess. Oh, sorry.
So I was talking about how the whales breed. Now the female, like I said, she'll pick her favorite singer. It's poke and go. She's pregnant for 11 months. Then she'll give birth to a 1-ton baby. Her and that calf that year, they travel back up here to feed. See, the mother, she's very hungry. She hasn't been eaten the whole winter. So they come back here to feed. Now typically they take along another whale. So it's an escort. Could be the father of the calf. It could be another male, another female. But it's just another whale to protect the calf from predators. Now does anybody know what a predator to one of these whales could be? No, not humans anymore. Boats, yes, but they don't try. Sharks? Nope. Orcas, yep. So the orcas are killer whales. What they do is they pick on the weak, the young, the sick, the old, and the unexpected. Kind of sounds a lot like Stephen Harper, what he used to do. But the orcas, they chew on the humpback's tail until it's too weak, too sore to move. But actually one smack of that humpback's tail and it can break an orca's back. It is the strongest muscle in the world.
3 or 4 big ones off the bow here. Now coming in right towards us. Here he comes, the great big fella. He's like he got all tore up. See the front of him? He's all skinned up there. And the Zodiac is over there on my port hand side. So they're watching him too. In a little boat. And a load of people. Here he comes, coming right at us.
1, 2,
on my port hand
3.
side. There he comes, coming right in. 3 of them running together.
There's Bruce in the middle.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Here comes Bruce back up to the surface again. Not that one. Bruce is coming up there now. Might get a tail from Bruce. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and tail.
There's one down there blowing bubbles, huh?
Here comes the other one.
Either that, he's passing gas under the water.
Still see this one come up to the surface again. Look at that. And a tail. Wasn't that lovely? Michael or Luke, do you want to turn off your mic? It's on downstairs.
Creepy drone flying around. Coming right onto the boat.
Somebody's finding it on the boat.
Oh, is it? I thought it was one of these guys over here.
Jimmy, you should have took the bet, Jimmy. You'd have made $80 for 20.
looks like this one over between us and the Zodiac is asleep. And the whales, they do sleep. When they sleep, they typically sleep for 5-10 minutes at a time. They take little cat naps. And when they sleep, they shut off half of their brains at a time. The other half is still alert in case of predators or something like that.
Oh, wait again.
So you can see how that one's just kind of staying on the surface, not moving too much. And that's what they do when they're asleep. Just breathe every few minutes. Oh, looks like it's getting a little bit of speed. It might be waking up there now. But the whales are just like humans. You know, after you eat a big Christmas dinner or turkey dinner, you do one of two things. You either go for a walk or you take a nap. And that's what these whales do. And that one's awake there now. Definitely awake. Stretching out. And there goes some more breakfast. But isn't this fantastic? A lot better than SeaWorld. This is them in their natural habitat doing just what they want to do. They're not super playful, but they're hungry. They're just eating.
What's that? You want me to take you and then
There's another one just over asleep off our port side. That one that's just blowing there. She's just staying on the surface. That's what they do when they sleep. They just stay on the surface of the water.
Nice to get a breach on video. This tree was just. So as soon as I got my camera, they snapped up and I said, trying to get a video for Facebook or something, right?
that's right, you should.
We do that all the time.
There's that pod we were watching just ahead of us.
They see a Facebook video.
Then back across the bay.
Everyone on vacation, well, never know. Gotta build it up.
They'll come out here to visit you and
Visit me. You have to visit. Visit me. I'll just stay downstairs in my place.
they'll tie you up.
Yeah, Butter keeps me out. Move the street tonight, Michael. Lay your bed. Not for it. Fire. I'm gonna get.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
The guy in the back here, or?
I used to use the other photo.
Coming over towards us.
That is her uncle.
Now you notice those few bumps on the front of these whales? So those are their sonar. So the whales, they don't have eyes directly in front. They don't have any vision directly in front of them. Their eyes are on the sides of their bodies. So they use their sonar to pick up vibrations. Look at these ones coming over. There's Bruce in the middle.
I just got kissed by a whale.
And you might get some of the whale spray there.
I already got him.
Us on the bow. Put your arms up, you're about to be kissed by a whale.
The what?
Give a spray?
Yeah.
Oh, I know this.
I felt it over here.
Yeah?
Imagining it?
No, I was just kissed by a whale. Only thing is,
Now there's whale boogers mixed in with that.
Yeah.
So, if you got them on your camera lenses, wipe them off. They're sticky.
We had a group of 5 sisters who were all 65 years old the other day.
Oh, no.
They called themselves the troublemakers. And they were like, we're the troublemakers. I was like, oh, welcome aboard. And then they were all dancing around. I was like, yeah, they're the troublemakers.
I have 3 sisters, and we can.
Yeah, yeah. Dad had 2 sisters and they were trouble. 3 of them family gatherings to run around. I'm like, man, you're in trouble.
It's not like the guys. The guys. It's different. You go all those.
Oh, well, I wasn't going.
He's found his own chocolate.
No, I'm very quiet. I'm very shy.
I can be quiet.
Really?
I'm told to shut off.
I don't think so either.
No, Claire, you behave yourself. Right, I'm told to shut off. Quiet then.
2 minutes.
I'm told I can talk again. Who wants a quiet tour drive? No one. Yeah, some people do. Majority. Some people do.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to ask you a question. They say there's no ice on the water at all. Is it the time it's open?
No, it's open. Well, we get packets, which drops down from the Arctic, but it's not, the ocean doesn't freeze over.
Okay.
And we're gonna start making our way over to see some puffins. So how about a round of applause for those whales? Wasn't that great? And who's excited for some puffins? Yeah. Alright, we're gonna slowly work our way over there. See, there's a lot of whale traffic around. It's rush hour. It's been rush hour for the past few days now. And I'd suggest kind of watching over where all the gulls are on the water. There might be a whale that might lunge feed through there. And there might not. Just keep watching everywhere. You gotta look everywhere at once. That way you don't miss anything.